Starting today, millions of workers are eligible for overtime pay. This is from the Labor Department, changing salary limits. We also have some changes when it comes to overtime. Stein Sperling attorney Darla McClure joins us now to explain the changes and what we're going to see here. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, a lot to get through, as a matter of fact. But one of them that we want to talk about, we'll get to overtime in just a minute. But we're also talking about minimum wage. So what do we need to know there?
So DC's minimum wage has gone up to $17.50, and Montgomery County in Maryland has gone up to $17.15 for large employers, an additional 50 cents for small employers. That's $15.50. Maryland is staying the same. It's at $15. That went up back in January, and Virginia is staying the same as well.
So this is for hourly employees, and the difference is basically based on the size of the employer, right? How many employees they actually have?
Yeah, for Maryland, that is. For DC, it's all employers.
Okay.
That is going up to $17.50.
Good to know. Overtime pay. This is a big change, and this impacts a lot of folks and classifications of employees. What are the changes with overtime pay?
So starting today, the threshold for the minimum pay requirements under the Department of Labor exemptions has gone up. So previously it was $684 a week, and now it's gone up to $844 a week. And so what that means is that employees that were previously exempt from overtime because it met those salary thresholds now are either going to have to be converted to non-exempt, and they'll be entitled to overtime, or their salaries are going to have to be raised to meet those new thresholds in order to stay exempt.
So that, if we calculate it out for the year, we're looking at about $44,000 is the break limit here, whether or not you would qualify for the overtime under this. So what do you think happens with most employers? Do you think that I guess if you're within $1,000, maybe you get a raise and you get above that limit? How does that work?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They're going to have to take a look and do some analysis on their wages and figure out, do they want to keep the employees at the level that they're at now and just pay them overtime for any hours over 40, or does it make sense to increase that because you have an exempt employee now who is working 60, 70 hours a week, and it makes sense to give them, that bump in pay to meet the new threshold.
I know one of the recommendations you had for the employers, and there were a lot of them, is some of that involves, if people are doing remote work, if they're checking their emails off hour, what constitutes employment? How do you manage that as an employer?
Well, we've gotten a little bit better at it over the years, right? Since COVID and everybody's kind of moved to remote work. But if you're going to now convert somebody that was exempt and then that's working from home to non-exempt, right? They're going to have to clock in. You're going to have to make sure they don't work off the clock. It's very easy to go past, that 5 o'clock hour when you're at home. And so it's going to be a little bit of an administrative burden for those that convert their exempt people to non-exempt.
All right, some changes nonetheless to be aware of for sure when it comes to the changes, not just in minimum wage, but also in potential overtime as well. Stein Sperling attorney Darla McClure. Thanks, Darla. I appreciate it. Good talking to you this morning.
Yep. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.